Stone beers,
All
that's
right.
local.
Okay.
The IPA is super light, it's not very hoppy. The Mine's Mild is an English mild, which is like
I'll
an
have
amber
an IPA,
beer.
that sounds good. And we'll pour it in a.
In the glass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't want to brown paper sack.
Come on. Look like a bar to have a beer.
Yeah, right.
And what about for you?
Hold on one second before you pour that, I'll give it a shot.
Or a glass of water.
Hold on, one second. He's gonna get a shot of the pouring the beer.
Is there a spot you want me to be?
Actually, if you want to go right there in front of them.
Okay.
Point out. That's what happens when you first shoot off the
Man,
plane,
no
put
pressure,
the
this
camera
better be a
together
good
and
pour, huh?
everything's everywhere.
Duct tape.
Alright, go ahead. That is good, look at the full pint, look at that.
Yeah,
And there's more.
done this
Hopefully
before.
nobody stabs me.
Done this before.
What would you like?
I'll have a glass of water.
Can you cheers over water?
Hmm?
Can you say cheers over water?
Oh,
Okay, good.
Literally. You know, we've been called the world's largest open air asylum.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Shh, don't tell them.
Cheers. Hey, where the inmates run them. Yeah, cheers, David.
That's good. What did you say they call Bisbee?
The world's largest open air asylum.
Oh, why did they call it that?
Stick around for about half an hour, you'll find out. The people that I've known here in the over 40 years that I've been here, none of them are. It's like, I fit right in. I felt like, oh, this is good, I can deal with this, you know? It's always been a town of artists and rednecks and cowboys and writers and musicians and world famous,
Yeah.
and all that, and and none of us care, you know?
They care about what?
About anybody being famous.
Yeah.
We just don't care.
Yeah.
We really don't. It's just weird that way.
Yeah.
You know, we're mile high. We are not only a sky oasis, a sky island, in the sense of the geological sense,
Right.
but in the cultural sense.
You're an island. A cultural island.
Absolutely. You know, the tunnel you came through to get here, we call it the time tunnel.
Oh, really?
And back in the 80s, we had a stencil that said time. And we'd sneak up there every once in a while, and so the sign that would say tunnel ahead, well, for about 3 months until the county caught on, it said time tunnel ahead, and the tourists loved it.
Is it like time just doesn't change here?
It doesn't exist.
Doesn't
It's
exist.
daytime and nighttime, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it, you know? You know how Tombstone has a saying that they're the town too tough to die? Well, our saying is, we're the town too high to care. I'm elevation.
By which way?
Elevation. Oh
Yeah.
my God, what were you thinking, David?
So what do people do here? First of all,
You're looking
we're
at
not
it.
here.
You're looking at it.
Where are we sitting right now?
Where are we sitting right now? Actually, this is the coolest thing. I've known the owners of this place forever and ever. And when they remodeled this building, this is the old Silver King Hotel. And when they remodeled it, all of the apartments, there was no window in here. And so they couldn't turn it into an apartment. So they had the wild hair to turn it into a bar with 4 seats.
Yeah.
So it's literally the smallest bar in the world, in Arizona.
Yeah.
Is it in the world?
Well, what else
In
is
the
there? It's
continental
outside of
In the-
Arizona.
In the continental US?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cozy in here.
It's not small, it's cozy.
How did you end up here? How did you end up in?
Well, in this bar, you called me a couple days ago, no, anyway, actually traveling. In my early 20s, as you know, I grew up in northern Wisconsin.
Right.
And realized at a very young age I was not covered with fur.
Yeah.
And it was Wisconsin in the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Awesome, good for me.
Yeah.
And I traveled everywhere. I mean, halfway up the Amazon. Every honky tonk in Texas. and live to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, every state park, national park, and got into Arizona, the desert Southwest, and went, oh, this is nice. Speaks to me, right? And then came to Bisbee, and I went, oh my God, they'll never let me out. Oh shit! But it was a landing strip, especially back then, for people to travel a lot. And when they came back to the States to make enough money to leave, this was a town that was very accepting.
It seems like a good place to kind of hide out a little bit.
Oh no, I know a lot of people that were on the lam.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Fake names, the whole 9 yards.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah. And back in those days, the cops have always been very cool here. They're good friends of mine here. Sheriff, love them. I mean, they're, of course, I work closely with them with my job and what I do, right?
Yeah.
And so, but back in the day, they were just cool as hell. And as long as you didn't get into, serious trouble, and everything was fine.
Well, it sounds like you had got an injury one time here at a bar, you said.
Oh yeah, only one. I only got stabbed once, but it was by a good friend actually. And
Who hasn't been stabbed once?
Yeah, well, only once. I mean, most people. I've got some catching up to do, David. I'll tell you right now. No, there was an old friend. God, we were something different. We were drinking heavily. Yeah. So we were at the bar. We were at St. Elmo's across the street back in, God, it had to be 84, 85. And we had trench coats on. Had to, right? And so he was always high as a kite on some damn thing. I don't even know what he was on. It was unbelievable. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden I feel something in my side, and I look down, and there was a pen knife sticking out of my side, stuck in on like 2.5 inches. And I went, what the hell? What did you do? Oh my God, he looked all horrified, actually. Oh, I'm so sorry, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what? And he handed me a napkin, I pulled it out and bought me a beer, and we partied all night. And that is Bisbee, my friend. And it's been that way since the beginning.
So you said that you got to the Southwest and spoke to you.
Yeah.
What was it saying?
There's less snow
Yeah.
here. Actually, it's such a diverse area, the Southwest desert. It's all elevation, right? Here we're a mile high, 5,600 feet, something like that. You go down into either valley out of this mountain, because Bisbee is tucked in the mountains, right? In the Mule Mountains, in the crotch of the Mule Mountains. And you go down into either valley, and you're at 4,500 feet, okay? And then you go north, of all things, and you go into Tucson, 100 miles away, and you're at 2,500 feet.
Yeah.
And then you go into Phoenix, and you're at 1,500 feet,
Uh-huh.
or 135,000 degrees in the summer.
Yeah.
I like to say.
Good.
Yeah, no good. And so just the change in elevation, and we have so many different mini climates, especially when you climb into the mountains, into the Sky Islands, which that's what these Mule Mountains are, the Huachuca Mountains, the Chiricahua Mountains, etc. And so, you drive a few minutes going up, and you're in a whole different landscape.
Really?
It's cooler now.
Yeah.
It really is neat. It really is. Different animals, different birds, different plants. It's really cool.
So there's just a lot of diversity of.
A lot of diversity
Yeah.
of things that want to poke you or sting you, stab you, or bite you.
Yeah, bite
Yes,
you,
yes.
yeah.
If it doesn't sting you, stab you, or bite you, you're not home.
Right.
So it's a fascinating place all around, actually.
The natural beauty of the place? Can you talk about a little bit about what does it look like here?
Yeah, what does it look like? It's amazing because a lot of people, when you tell them you live in the desert Southwest, they think sand dunes.
There's nothing here but sand. Right?
Yes, nothing but sand dunes. It like I like to say, in the monsoons, which they used to start on July 4th, like clockwork.
Yeah.
Now they're getting weirder, much later, sometimes much earlier. Things are screwed up, right? Which I'm sure we'll talk about. It's a poor excuse for a desert when there's monsoons on.
Yeah.
Or we get moisture. We like to say here in the desert Southwest, just add water. And it's green.
Yeah.
We have waterfalls here. Just out on the other side of the tunnel, there's a 70-foot waterfall
Yeah. Amazing.
when it rains.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And of course, as you know about the washes here in the desert Southwest, if it's raining up on the mountain, you don't want to be stuck in a wash because it may be sunny and hot where you are, but that wall of water's going to come down. And I've seen it, of course. Never been trapped in it, but I've seen it. So it's the most beautiful spot. I've been to Manaus in Brazil. You know, I've been to Costa Rica. I've lived in Mexico. I know the tropics and whatnot. And for myself, it's absolutely beautiful here. Now, another thing that I really like about it is Cochise County is extremely, very rural, extremely rural.
Yeah.
As in 50 miles by 70 miles.
Yeah, we saw nothing for a long time while we were driving.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Isn't that just awesome?
Yeah, you're all by yourself. Huh?
Yeah, all by yourself out there.
Yeah.
And I tell people, with what we do, you know, with the killer bee removal, and we rescue the fire departments, police departments, etc. So I can see the mountain range that we're going to. It takes me 2.5 hours to get there, and we're still in the county.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a
It's
giant
huge.
county, yeah.
It's huge. And we're right here. We're about 9 miles north of the border, the international border.
Mhm.
And so it's just an absolutely beautiful rural wild. This is totally the Wild West. Absolutely, and not just the flora and fauna. You know, yeah, you like wildlife? Stick around. You're gonna find some.
No laws out here.
Well, less people to look at you when you're might be messing around. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, that's yeah, but people tend to behave themselves. I will admit, you know, people. I grew up with guns in northern Wisconsin,
Yeah.
of course, and all that. And people from back east or up north will come in and go, everyone's so nice here. Oh, I just love it. People are so kind and generous. And look at them. Everyone's armed. We're all armed. And I'm like, really? Yeah. I mean, you know, we got rattlesnakes.
Yeah, that's what you need it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really. No.
No, I heard there's rattlesnakes. I mean, plenty of rattlesnakes, right?
Oh, yeah, we have rattlesnakes, exactly. I mean, they're not a big deal. I mean, they're serious, not with what I do, not with what, compared to what I deal with, nothing is.
So do people get out, like, is there a lot of hiking and being outside? Is being outside part of what it means?
It
to live
really
here?
seems to be for a higher percentage of people that live here.
Yeah,
I know that in a lot of places, especially where it's hot, like Tucson or Phoenix or extremely cold, you know, you go from your home to your vehicle to your work or to shop and go back and the
Yeah.
same thing. Here, the climate is extremely mild. Year round, we do have the fluctuations, of course, but when Tucson's at 115 degrees, we're at 85
yeah, because you're in the high desert.
elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah, elevation. Now, we do get snow. We will, in a normal snow, now like 10,
It blows my mind that you can get snow like and you're 9 miles from the border. with
yes,
Mexico.
it does not, I know, most people are just like, really, you're kidding. 40 years ago, things have changed here,
Yeah.
all right? 40 years ago, when I got here, the winters were a lot colder. It was uncomfortable because a lot of us didn't have heat,
Yeah.
phones, indoor plumbing. I mean, it was, you know, a lot of outlaw, a lot of Wild West and hippies and yeah, it was very interesting to say the least. But we would get 12, 15 snows every year,
Yeah.
and 3 or 4 of them would be a foot.
Yeah, that's a good snow.
That's snow.
Yeah.
And it would not go away for months on the mountains,
Yeah.
you know? And now, it's really changed. It's warming. It really is. It's getting warmer in the winter and unfortunately hotter in the summer. I really don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like either way, actually. As I mature, I like my temperatures somewhere between 74 and 75 degrees. Anything outside.
You'll accept that wide fluctuation.
Yeah, well, that's a bit much actually,
Yeah.
but no, so.
Well, what have you noticed about summer temperatures?
Summer temperatures are warmer for sure, absolutely. Yeah, hotter, drier, unfortunately. The monsoons are not predictable anymore. It really is a shame because I've seen, just in the last few years, our oak trees, okay, are called live oak.
Yeah, we have that.
They lose their leaves in the spring, not in the fall, in the spring. But they're replaced immediately with new ones if there's moisture. Recently, in the last 5 years or 6 years, I have seen times when all of the oak trees are barren because no moisture, Whereas this wouldn't have happened 40 years ago. Absolutely not, or 30 years ago. Barren for 6 months. I even saw it for 2 years, and everybody thought all the oak trees died. No, they were waiting till it rained,
Yeah.
and then they came back.
Yeah.
So it's drier than it used to be, and warmer, and I don't know what it foretells. I don't know what it forebodes. I don't like it.
Well, I don't know how much you knew about the lizard until I sent you the thing, but like, what was your, what's your reaction to just hearing about that story about the lizard?
On a couple of fronts, actually hearing about the yarrow lizard and its imminent extinction. Unfortunately, A, it doesn't surprise me, and B, it shocks me.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, it's horrific. It's just horrific. My goodness, I've seen them. I've lived here.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You can't be 40 years anywhere and not see
Right.
pretty much everything,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not.
And there used to be a lot of them, I think.
Oh, yeah, a lot more. And now, of course, this specific subspecies, this specific kind, that's only in the Mule Mountains for 3 million years.
Doesn't that kind of blow your mind?
Well, no, it's way beyond my comprehension, actually. It really is. I mean, it's like, totally blows my mind. 3 million years these things have been here. And not just in my lifetime are they gonna go away forever, but in the next few years.
Yeah.
Horrific. And yet, yeah, it's frightening. Yeah, things are not what they used to be, and yeah, it's weird when you want to oil up your snowshoes and get the water skis out all at the same time.
That's climate change.
Yeah, it's climate change, exactly.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you.
So, if you had to explain Bisbee to somebody who'd never heard of it before, what would you say?
We're at a mile high, so 2 drinks and you're toasted, you're a cheap date. That's a fact.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. You come from sea level, woo, bye-bye, you're a cheap date. No, Bisbee, I have said it for many, many years. I've had a store here for 30 years, right on Main Street, and one in Tombstone. And I've said it for many, many years. Bisbee is the best kept secret in this country. And I actually know because I've been to every state. And
You're sure you want to be talking about it right now then?
oh, it's fine. People, we call Bisbee self-flushing.
What does that mean?
Now, either you belong here or you don't.
Yeah, you just flush yourself right out.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
It's like no, this ain't gonna work out. I've met people, of course, that came here we have a lot of wildlife, of course. We have this is a major thoroughfare for birds. And so birds come from all over the world to this area of the country because we got all the birds.
Yeah.
I mean, even the elegant trogon I've seen here,
That sounds good. I have no idea what that means, but it
Oh,
sounds
it's
wonderful.
delicious.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, right. So they're all these different birds that I inadvertently learned about them. I'm a hunter, so I don't, but not. It's interesting as hell,
Yeah.
right? And so when you come to Bisbee, it is the best kept secret in the country, and it is self-flushing. But I've met people that would get a B&B out in the country and could not stay. It was too quiet.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, you can drive for 2 hours and not see anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
How many people live here?
This is the weirdest thing. As much as people love it, and as much as people visit and buy an old miner shack, fix it up, etc., our population has actually gone down every year for the last 10 years at least. Those of us that die off, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's around 5,000.
Yeah.
Now, where we're sitting in room 4 bar in Old Bisbee, this is called Old Bisbee, there's about 1,500 people.
Uh-huh.
And Bisbee is divided up into many little communities because of the mines back in the day.
Yeah, it seems like you're stepping back in time a little bit when you come here, especially with this part.
Oh, absolutely. The architecture,
Yeah.
the general feel of it, No, we're not dressed up in costume, for God's sake, you know, if you wanna go to Tombstone.
This is what you actually wear.
Oh, yeah, oh, absolutely, sure, absolutely, isn't, you know.
You look fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That's what the guy in the mirror told
My
me.
pleasure,
He
yeah.
said the
He's-
same thing.
Smart fellow.
You know him?
Yeah.
He's handsome, I hear.
Yeah.
Wow. World's a mirror. So we, it's authentic, you're right, and it is like stepping back in time, because all of these buildings in Old Bisbee are from 1908 and beyond.
Yeah.
Because there was a huge fire here in 1908 and burnt the whole town. And then they rebuilt, and the architecture's spectacular.
Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. And, you know, it's a historical district, they can't tear it down, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have, in Old Bisbee, there's no fast food.
Yeah. Or elevators.
We have a bodega,
Yeah.
you know, actually, we have to have elevators like in the library.
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But, it's, you gotta be able to walk a lot, that's for sure, because everything's on hills. The post office does not deliver to your home or business.
Really?
Here, they will not. UPS and FedEx will. The post office will not. Everybody that lives in Old Bisbee has to have a P.O. box. So that's where you go
Go to
to
the post
meet
office.
anybody. Yeah, of course.
Social hour, 5
Back-
o'clock, huh?
Back in the day when, and it used to be such a town of psychics and interesting shit like that.
Yeah.
And so we'd always say, well, if you want to see someone, just go down to the post office and they'll be there in 10 minutes. And sure as shit, it would work every time. It was hilarious. It was, so all of us still have P.O. boxes.
I just want to ask you one more time about the sort of the altitudes of things. Can you talk about that a little bit?
It's all stairs.
No, I mean, not the buildings, but like the elevation changes in the mountains and the things that you see along the way.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, what do those elevation changes, like, what's the practical implication of having these elevation changes? Like, the way life is different in different spots.
Right, and Bisbee is very unique in that when you are driving from Tucson here to Bisbee, this is the only town in a sky island around.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Everywhere else that you're driving, you're in the valley, and you can look up at those mountaintops and even see snow, right? Or Huachucas, the Whetstones, Dragoons, you know, Chiricahuas, all these. At any time, you can see 7 mountain ranges just looking around.
really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
and at times on a clear day, you can see 100 miles.
Uh-huh.
It's really awesome. But those are up there. And you're down there in the valley, driving in between them to get from one town in a valley to another. Tombstone,
Yeah,
to Cedar Vista. Then you come to Bisbee. You actually drive up the mountain and come through the time tunnel. And so, you really get the feel for it coming into Bisbee, because when you're driving up that mountain, and before the tunnel, there's 2 miles of, you're coming up the mountain. And if you observe that the trees change, in fact, it gets cooler, you can feel it. You know, if you roll the window down, it goes, oh,
yeah.
15 degrees different.
It'd be cold at night here tonight.
Oh, well, it's gonna, it froze, my water at the ranch was frozen this morning.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. So I'm at about 5,800 feet, something like that. And, it's a ranch, and so it's a, you know, I love ranch life and whatnot. And so, but yeah, it froze last night again. And another thing that's changed, like I said, it was colder in the past than now. I've seen 10 below here.
Really?
It was too reminiscent, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
You
probably
know?
being in Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, bad, not good. And, not good for anyone else either.
So in relation to the way things change, and you're talking about the different changes in the weather and the climate and stuff, like, a lot of that comes from records, people write it down, and so we have a good record. We have a good record of weather for 100 years.
Right.
But in your time, what kind of changes have you noticed here in the climate?
Literally a 10 to 15 degree change up, which is a lot
Yeah,
in 40 years. That's a lot. When I first came here, I would never see 100 degrees here, ever.
Yeah.
It was fine with me. And now it's frequent. now we'll see 100-degree days often.
You notice that, yeah.
Oh, I certainly do,
Yeah.
with what we do in the bee suits.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we see it, that's torture. Yeah, heat exhaustion is no fun,
yeah.
you know. And conversely, in the winter, less snow, less moisture all the way around. It really is unpleasant, I really don't like it. So warmer temperatures, plants, our plants are tough. They're desert plants. They're succulents, they're cactus, you know, they want to stick you.
Yeah,
They are hardy. They can stand 10 below. I don't like that. They can stand 10 above, you know, and be fine. But I fear what will happen in 10 or 20 years, the way that things are changing so rapidly, and with this yarrow lizard in the next few years, and for the drop in population of it in the last 5 years.
yeah.
That's shocking. That's shocking. And surprising that it would drop that fast. Usually when you think of things maybe not even evolving, yeah, I guess evolving, you think of many, many, many years.
Yeah, millions.
Millions even, right? You know, or at least hundreds.
Yeah,
And here we are, looking at this special lizard that's been here for 3 million years, going away in a year or two. It's horrifying. It really is.
what do you think it means for the future of living there?
Well, if things go as planned with California, well, we'll shoot our property. So I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Your property values are going up.
Oh, well, they're Bisbee anyway, like everywhere else, you know, and yet, for locals, they're expensive as hell, and for everyone else, they're cheap, you know, like usual.
Right.
One thing we don't have is snow on those mountains, so we'll never be Telluride. So,
God.
I think we're okay, yeah, I think we're okay. Water table, that is a real issue, serious issue around here, especially because out in the valleys, we have people, big farms pumping way too much water.
Yeah,
And foreign interests.
yeah.
And so, you know, I know all the ranchers out here, and all the cowboys and whatnot, and the old timers, and it's worrisome. It really is.
I want to thank you for making time for us. It's been super fun.
Thank you for having me,
Yeah.
David. It's been
These
wonderful.
people out here too.
Oh, yeah, Killer Bee Nation, looks like we're on the wrap up. I didn't think David would let us. Oh, God. He was like, no, you can't anyway. So, we got some people on?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Of course, the family.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you guys, look at you, got a twofer tonight. You never see me in the dark. Yeah.
We need to keep talking a little bit. Janet's going to get a couple more shots of us.
Sure.
So, you say you own the property right by right at the tunnel.
At the tunnel, they both, actually, the entrance. both
So what do you
sides.
have on? What do you do on your? What do you have on your end?
I am raising granite rocks. And
Oh,
I've
really?
got a hell of a crop coming.
Yeah.
this
What do you
year.
feed them?
Oh, wow. They're easy to feed. I found though, when it rains really hard, the big ones float to the surface. It seems like it anyway, but the hell's with that? But when I actually own, I have 32 acres, and it's 2 mining claims, is what it is. But I live on a big flat area. You'll actually see it tomorrow. If not in person, you'll drive right where you can see it. And it's a big flat area, 3-area flat area that everyone thinks is a tailings dome. But it's not. It's everything they took out of the tunnel.
Uh-huh. Oh, from the tunnel.
So it's crushed, it's a crushed mound of pink granite. If I wanted to go into the headstone business, I could.
Yeah.
It's beautiful pink granite when it's
I
polished.
hear the headstone business is pretty good.
It's gonna get better if I have anything to do with it.
People are dying to
If I have anything, yeah, time to do it. Oh my God, I like this guy. We can let him go, you guys. That's all there is to it.
They're dying.
God, the mortician business. Oh, God. Yeah, you guys are used to this shit though, anyway. No, you gotta, I mean, now this is gonna be a half-an-hour show, and it'll be this will be 1 segment or probably 3.
One of 3 segments.
One
Yes.
of 3, yeah, from the stuff I've done before. And, because that gives times for ads and all that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But this will be on CBS.
Yeah.
in-
Earth Day,
Oh, really? Coming up?
April 22.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mark it down, guys.
Put it down. Yeah.
Damn.
We thought it'd be a good time to talk about climate and
Earth Day, of course.
and species and sort of what we're losing and how we can try to save it.
Yeah. Wow, interesting as hell. What is the name of the show?
It's called On the Dot with David Schechter.
right on.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's me.
Oh. Now I'm flustered. Thank God it's after.
Too bad we didn't bring our makeup person with us, though. We both would have looked 5 years younger.
Yeah, well, I could use all the help. Yeah, that's what the guy in the mirror told me, so anyway. Wardrobe did good by me.
Wardrobe looks great.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you.
You played the part for sure.
Oh, yeah, it's just kind of natural.
This bar is really cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, it's cozy. Give everybody a pan of it, host. Just give everybody a look at the bar. This is it. I mean, that you're looking at it. This is it. This is it.
So this used to be a boarding house?
Well, oh yeah, back in the day, and of course Brewery Gulch
I'm gonna get a
was.
shot from behind them, so if we can just.
Or you wanna
Oh,
go
okay,
over there?
yeah.
Stick with us, Killer Bee Nation. Of course, the Gulch. See, Bisbee used to be the biggest city between St. Louis and San Francisco.
When was that?
2 weeks ago. No, anyway. Back in the
How many people would that have been?
like 60,000.
60.
I'm gonna move this.
Back
Sure.
Then, 600,000.
Yes.
What year?
1915, 20, back in the day. Oh, not like that, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And so, so it used to be the biggest city. We had our own stock exchange, literally. And it was a bar right down the street called Stock Exchange Bar.
Yeah.
And it is for sale now, if you're interested.
Yeah, maybe.
It's, the boards are still up there with chalk.
Yeah.
Chalkboards back then. It was our own stock, literally stock exchange. The,
Trading minerals.
trading everything. It was a stock exchange, whatever was available back in the day. So this was the biggest city between St. Louis and, it used to be, like the Copper Queen Hotel was where presidents would stay and, politicians and whatnot. This was the hub of the Southwest. Bigger than Tucson, bigger than Phoenix.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah. Fascinating, yeah.
Yeah.
It really
I guess, you're talking, the climate is like, so, in West Texas, the high desert of West Texas is
Like West Texas, I know it, I
But
know
it's
all
a-
about it.
I mean, in summer it gets to 90, but then, it gets down to 50 at night.
Or colder, yeah.
Yeah.
That desert's a whole different desert. They don't have the mountain ranges.
There's a couple mountain ranges. There's the Davis Mountains.
Right.
But yeah, and then down by Big Bend, there's a bunch of mountains.
Well,
But that's super hot. Yeah.
Yeah, also Big Bend is super hot.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Marfa?
Yeah, so Marfa is right next to the Davis Mountains. I
Right.
love Marfa.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the lights?
We went to go look for the lights, but I think it's mostly car lights. Did you see the lights? Don't tell me you saw the lights.
I did not see them there. I did not see them there.
Yeah.
Apparently, it is a phenomenon.
It is. I believe it is. I do believe it happens, but it's.
I saw it in the jungles in Chiapas
Really,
by Palenque.
really.
Yeah. I mean, I was.
I think it's like plasma or something.
Yeah, ball lightning maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was in Cascadas Agua Azul, which means waterfall, blue water.
Uh-huh.
All right, and it's very jungle, very remote at that time. And we were out at like 4 a.m. looking for mushrooms. No, we didn't find any.
That's one
not
thing,
why.
just-
Yeah, of
just
course.
right
Why else
there.
am I going to look for? We didn't find any. But we looked up. There's like 4 or 5 of us poking around in the jungle, and these damn lights are floating off about,
Really?
through the jungle. You can see it. I'm like, did anybody slip me something? You
Yeah.
know? And then all of a sudden, half an hour later, we saw car lights pull up. And so we went back into Palenque into town the next day and asked around, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's our lights, and the kids go watch them
Yeah.
float around, and they change color, size,
Yes.
and elevation."
That's exactly what they say about the Marfa lights. Have you been to Marfa?
I've been to Marfa. I never saw the lights.
Yeah.
And all the truckers were there anyway.
Yeah. It's pretty cool now.
Yeah, it might be now.
Yeah.
Marfa's like Bisbee. You have to want to go there.
Yeah, that's right.
You
You
have
have to
to
want to go there.
You have to want to go there and hope you get the hell out
Yeah.
to, you can still marry into a single white in Marfa.
You can still marry into a single wife.
Yeah, if you're lucky, she has kids and,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I get.
goats
Not too late for me.
and a couple of dogs.
Yeah.
Not too late. We usually say that about small towns out here. You can marry in Alfreda if you indeed went to a single wide, that's right, anyway.
This was very fun and fantastic.
Oh, thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Me too, nothing but, yeah, I just, any time.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, pertinent subjects for television, Africanized bees are becoming something all over the country because small beekeepers are in denial, serious denial, because the romance about honeybees is prevalent. As all,
Yeah, people love bees,
oh,
right?
Well, you know, when people say save the bees,
Yeah.
of course they're thinking honeybees.
Right.
They're not in danger.
Yeah.
It's our native pollinators that are in danger. So it would be like saying save the birds and only talking about chickens.
Right.
Get it? And so our big thing is educating as irreverently as possible.
Yeah.
Everyone about the pulling the wool back, you know, from people's eyes, because the Africanized bee is brought to the forefront what a danger they are to all of our native pollinators in the Western Hemisphere.
Again, so a native pollinator is what?
Well, they're in our, everything from bumblebees to wasps and hornets, and it does include butterflies, some butterflies.
Yeah.
And they do not have symbiotic relationships, you know, speaking of changes coming and whatnot. For instance, bumblebees will, it's called buzz pollination. And when they get to a certain type of gourd, they will vibrate at a certain hertz, certain frequency that will trigger that flower to release its pollen.
Right.
And honeybees don't do that. They're Vikings. They're rape and pillage. That's all they do.
So you say honeybee and Africanized. Is that interchangeable?
No, honeybee, okay,
Bumblebee, honeybee, Africanized.
well, bumblebee is a whole different species. Africanized honeybee is a honeybee. So all honeybees are not Africanized.
Bumblebees are native pollinators.
That's correct. They're a whole different thing. Now, in our northern Sonora desert region right here, we have over 1,000 different native species. Pollinators, pollinators, right. And many of them are in danger of going extinct or becoming endangered because of Africanization. The huge problem with it is that European honeybees, they were adorable, they gave us honey, and they didn't try to kill us.
Right.
Well, now all of a sudden honeybees are trying to kill us.
So they were somehow influenced to become Africanized?
They are crossbred.
Crossbred.
Okay, so they were created. An Africanized honeybee is a Frankenbee.
Breed.
Yeah, it was created in Brazil in the 50s because Brazil was an insignificant producer of honey, and they wanted to get on the world game. It's all economics. That's why they were created. So in 1957, at the request of the Brazilian government, an actual very responsible scientist went to South Africa to procure East Savannah South African honeybees because they were known to be excellent producers and disease resistant. Not even ornery. Well, they crossbred them with European bees, hoping to get their productive honeybee and disease resistant. Well, they got that.
Yeah.
They also got a Chihuahua in the deal. They got things they did not expect. And then, of course, they got out and expanded at about 300 miles a year in every direction. Came into Texas in 91, Arizona in 93. I was already keeping bees up at the tunnel at the ranch, and European. And then they came in, the Africanized, and I started getting calls from ranchers. And they would say, those bees been in that shed for 60 years.
Yeah.
And now they're stinging the horses and cows and me, what the hell? So I would explain the whole thing to him. And he said,
So
well,
the Africanized bees just got in there and then they...
yeah, they take over, and they look the same. You can't tell by looking, which is a real problem for small beekeepers in denial. It's like the big beekeepers, the professionals that hold bees around for pollination, they know what they're doing.
Sure.
They breed all their queens in-house.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. The small backyard beekeeper is the one that's really being detrimental to native pollinators because the Africanized bees are so much better than European bees at what they do, which is everything, including defend the hive. It's fascinating shit. And like I said, I can go on for days on this. It's a fascinating subject. It is becoming more and more pertinent. Like we always say, killer bees coming to a neighborhood near you are a shed. And it used to be just down here in the desert southwest. South of the Mason-Dixon line, they're all the feral unmanaged hives are Africanized.
Yeah.
But now they're in Wisconsin.
Yeah, so they're just taking over.
They're in Ontario and Alberta. So when you want to do a show,
Yeah.
David, give me a call.
I definitely know the right character.
I wanted to, wanted to put the bug in your ear. Oh, technical.
Hey now.
I read the manual. I wrote the manual. Wait a minute.
Bug in my
Yeah,
ear.
I know how to remove it too. Oh my God. It's been an absolute pleasure,
This
sir.
has been really fun, yeah.
Good. I wish you hadn't been up since 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Lord,
yeah, it's probably time.
Guy's a machine.
My
My
goodness.
God, how does he do it?
Early to bed, probably, huh?
Yeah, all of us. Give me a holler tomorrow when you get off the mountain.
Okay.
See where you're at.
Yeah.
You know, which hospital you're in. At least you won't get heat exhaustion this time of year.
We're staying in a little Casa Luna Airbnb, the blue house on Moon.
Oh, on Moon Canyon? Oh, it's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of these old miners' shacks have been turned into beautiful homes and then turned into Airbnbs, and you're lucky. That's beautiful.
It was.
I know that
house.
house.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that
It's
house.
blue.
Yeah.
Let's get your microphone for me.
Huh? Oh, it's a mic. Yeah. He's gonna de-mic me.
Here it is.
Everybody's ready to
It's
get
like
out of
an
here.
undercover investigation.
Yeah.
He's wearing a wire.
We used to actually.
Killer Bee guy's wearing a wire.
So, Fort Huachuca is right over here, 20 miles away in Sierra Vista, which
Yeah.
is the biggest MI fort in the country, right? And they'd always send people over back in the day,
Biggest what fort?
MI, military intelligence.
Oh.
And so they'd send people over for training over here. It was hilarious because we could spot them a mile away. And, you know, I just got used to sitting at a bar and looking at the guy sitting next to me if I didn't know him and saying, do you currently or have you ever worked for any local state or federal law enforcement agency? Most of the time they look at me and go, that obvious? And then they buy me beer all night.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I cannot divulge. I'm gonna.
Do you want
Yeah,
to sign off? or-
yeah, we may as well. Yeah. Killer Bee Nation, thank you so much for sticking with us. What a fun time. I didn't know David would let us. Tomorrow morning, probably around 10:30 or 11 our time, Mountain Standard Arizona time, because we do not do the time change. We do not do daylight
Yeah,
saving.
so we had daylight savings, and then we had a time change, but then not a time change. I'm a little confused right now.
Oh my God. So it's yesterday. So you can
It's
calm down.
today's yesterday.
A lot of time.
Tomorrow is the yesterday. We were promised some other time.
There's a country song in there
Yeah.
somewhere. Anyway, thank you, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh my God, so much fun.
Absolutely.
We'll stop by and get a shot of your store too when we're probably on Wednesday. And I need to check in with Mike. I guess I was gonna meet up with him, but on Wednesday. But if he's not,
Mike
gonna be-
Montoya, local musician.
Yeah, I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news about that.
Looks like
Yeah.
he did.
Death in the family. Anyway, love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We're gonna go chase some bees. That's when it gets fun.
Mike says I'm hosting an open mic at Gene's place tonight, which is pretty close.
I can take you across the street then.
Oh,
I think we're gonna.
I'm gonna go crash and burn.
Yeah. We'll see him on Wednesday.